So, morning everyone. Welcome to another day in the life of on Beyond Privilege. Today, I'm really happy to welcome Isaac, who is the Group Head of Infrastructure Finance at Wema Bank, and we're going to be talking about a day in the life and sort of working at Wema Bank. So, if I can firstly ask Isaac, can you please introduce who Wema Bank is and sort of your experience working at the company?
Thank you very much, Jack. Wema Bank is the first indigenous bank in Nigeria. It started in 1945, and despite its age being 79 years old, it's a bank that has been resilient. It's the first, currently pioneered the first African fully digitalized retail bank. Wema Bank, is very invested in commercial, corporate banking activities and does a lot of financial intermediation in those space. And it's active in the energy and power space. I joined the bank in June 2023 as the group head for infrastructure finance. And under that portfolio, we have power, gas, renewable energy, marine infrastructure, and others reporting to my portfolio. Thank you, Jack.
Thank you, Isaac. It's really interesting. Can you sort of talk to me a little bit about, how you made it to the position that you're in today and the various sort of activities that you did to, get to the point that you're at today in your career?
Good. I will start from the basis. My mom, Mrs. Stella Ogu, invested actively in my education. So, education plays a vital role in your aspiration, in your career growth. And so because of that, I have a master's in analytical environmental chemistry and furthered it with an MBA from the University of Bradford, United Kingdom. Besides that, I have a support system which is driven by my family. My wife plays a vital part of that. And then I got a lot of mentorship. A key mentor for me is Nnamdi Okonkwo, who currently chairs as the Group Managing Director for First Bank Nigeria Holding Limited, PLC. Mentorship is vital for any young officer who intends to grow in his career because it helps you pattern your aspiration and also gain necessary visibility. In that space, in my 17 years on this job, I have been a branch manager covering 3 key zones in Nigeria. I worked in Benin, I worked at Port Harcourt, and then before I was redeployed to head the energy and team lead for energy and power at Fidelity Bank. So I've worked in 4 other banks. This Wema Bank is actually my 4th bank. And in that whole career space, I had covered commercial and then corporate banking. And I've been working actively in the energy space. Prior to this period, I covered basically the oil and gas downstream trading and crude trading before I moved to infrastructure finance. Infrastructure finance is exciting for me because it provides investment in tomorrow's cash flow. So it helps you have a long-term vision and think through large-scale transaction. Involves a lot of structuring, debt financing, working with corporations to raise debt and equity. And so it will require you to have a good sound knowledge of your business environment and good exposure with financial analysis, evaluations, and all of that. And then you would also have to have your core. Core, you need to read a lot, and then you also need to have a good set of principles like resilience to pull through project financing because of the capital outlay required in it. You need a whole lot of convincing to do. And to do all of that, you need to provide evidence-based. And so you have to be a person with resilience to drive through that. So I usually do not believe that bankers should determine for business. We have to apply the Steve Covey principle, which says we should seek first to understand before we are understood. And so that means we will listen to the business, we will understand the business, and seek on what their needs are, and so we can tailor our solutions to meet those needs. And so basically, these core principles have supported me through my career. And also the principle of ensuring that businesses are also part of the community, because approaching business from a stakeholder mindset ensures that a lot of stakeholders are actively involved and invested in that project. And so that ensures that those projects are sustainable, and every key player in that project would have a win in it. And so seek win-win ensures that everybody is a winner and ensures that that project goes through to the end. So those are basically the principles that have supported me through my career rise. And that's it, Jack. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Isaac. It's really interesting to hear about the various things you're doing to sort of get to where you are today. Sort of moving on from that, I was wondering if you could talk to us a little bit about sort of how your day is set up and, a day in the life of you.
Okay, my day is usually set up with a lot of meetings. You basically an outdoor person. You have to be interested in meeting people, engaging both informal and informal sessions. In short, a lot of time, the informal engagement are actually vital for closing deals. Like I discussed with you earlier, after this session, I'll be going out to have a light drink session for a lecture series marking the birthday of an energy player. And so there will be a lot of energy stakeholders at that meeting. So such networking sessions are a vital part of my day. Also, because I run a team, I'm actually invested in ensuring that we have training. So apart from my internal meetings with the various team leads that report to me, handling the various portfolios under my team, we hold training sessions. And in those training sessions, it's vital for us because it helps us discuss the macroeconomic factors affecting each sector. It helps us listen to ourselves and engage on the dynamics, on the ever fast changing dynamics in the financial market. So trainings, meetings are basically a key component of my daily activities. Thank you, Jack.
Thank you, Isaac. It's really interesting to hear. I think we're going to ask some questions from the chat. So I'll start off with this one. What do banks look for in order to finance energy projects?
Good, Jack. To finance energy projects, banks must first of all review a thorough risk acceptance criteria, which starts with the viability of that project. So we have to be sure that this project would be viable in the long run, would generate the expected cash flow. And so we would clearly analyze the risk and seek mitigating factors for each risk. So, and so it's a careful and tortuous process of analyzing the financials of those corporations, analyzing their track record, analyzing the stakeholders in those projects, and what have they done before, what are their profile like, analyzing the regulatory support for that sector and the policy direction in that sector. You also do not want to finance a project whose time has passed or whose time hasn't come. Both set of factors could determine whether this project could become viable or if you are financing a project whose time hasn't come. And then, so you would have to pay besides what the finances of the corporation is, or what the numbers look like, we would also look at the trend. Where is the market going to? Is this project, is there a need for this project? And will this project generate the cash flow? If it generates the cash flow, will that cash flow be sustainable over the life cycle of your financing? And what are the likely events that could impact on that project over? Recall that most project financing are long-term. You're speaking to a 5-year, 7-year, 10-year project. So you almost like a prophet looking through to ensure that this project will be able to repay itself over the tenure. So that's why sustainability principles are vital. You have to be sure that where these projects are sited, is there support from the host community? Are there policy support in that environment? What are the steps taken by the promoters of the project, the sponsors of the project, to ensure that necessary mitigations are in place for this project? So that's basically it. We look through a wide range of factors to determine financing for this project. And where is the equity coming from? We have to be sure that the project sponsors are vested in the project that they want the bank to raise debt capital for. Thank you, Jack.
Thank you, Isaac. It's really interesting. Sort of the next question that I've got is, what impact do fluctuations in energy prices have on banking strategies and investment in the energy sector?
Yeah, this is a key risk for financing energy project, because the energy commodity is, the prices are not stable. Situations far away from your project site could impact on commodity prices that could determine whether the project will be viable or not. But however, you would consider first, would there be a demand for that project? Note that, let's say, for instance, you are financing a power project. By macro factors like COVID, like, for example, locally NSAS, like the current crisis in the Red Sea, all that could impact the commodity prices, which could affect considering that you're financing a long-term project. But note that despite all, when you're financing a project that would happen over a 10-year, that require repayment over a 10-year period or a 5-year period, you would necessarily expect these kinds of challenges. So we would, at the onset, consider various mitigating factors. How are you hedging for? What are the hedges that you are? How are you hedging for that? Is there a hedge for the commodity? Is there a hedge for price? Is there a hedge for FX volatility? Is the receivables and the financing, are they matched? Is there a currency risk? Those are all the factors that we would consider in taking a financing decision. Thank you, Jack.
Thank you, Isaac. I think we'll take one more question. So what measures have you put in place to motivate people to utilize clean energy? So that could be you or your company or anything like that.
Good. For us at Wema Bank, we are very, very aware that renewable energy is energy for the future for us. And so as a bank, we are set up with there's a desk for corporate and sustainability desk, which ensures that every project, every facility that we avail, what are the sustainability actions of those corporations? That's one. And then the bank has set up a renewable energy desk. So that shows the commitment of the bank to financing renewable energy projects. And so at this point, we're even approving transactions for solar panels, assembly plants. We are financing transportation, renewable energy, EV buses, renewable energy related transport projects. And so those are the commitment, because no matter what we state in our policy document, if we do not show commitment to financing those projects, then it will be a whole lot of talk and no action. And if you recall from the COP28, there's a whole lot of discussion on climate action, and not just climate comments, as has always been in the past. So as a bank, we are committed in that space. One of the portfolios that reports to me is a renewable energy portfolio. And so it's part of my deliverable to ensure that the renewable energy portfolio grows. And since I joined the bank in June, we have been working aggressively in that direction. And especially for a country like Nigeria, where there is high energy costs, the impact of the unification of the foreign currency market has also seen a lot of devaluation of the currency, which has also impacted on energy costs. So high cost of energy is also driving adoption and migration to see cleaner energy. So there's a whole lot of demand for solar panels, demand for EV buses, gas and CNG buses, because the cost is driving patterns of behavior. And so as a bank, we follow those trends and provide support in that direction. Thank you. Thank you, Jack.
Amazing. Thank you so much for your time, Isaac. It's really interesting to hear about you, your career, and all of the amazing things that Wema Bank is doing. I'm sure everybody can connect with you on Beyond Privilege.
Very, very well. They can connect to me on Beyond Privilege. I'm also an avid golfer, so I enjoy the outdoor. And so beyond connecting with me virtually, I'm also available to connect with me outdoor, sit out, and have a more relaxed environment. And most of the time, that is where we close the deals, not even in the office.
100%. No, thank you so much, Isaac. Really appreciate it. And thank you to everybody who's watching.
Thank you very much.
Cheers.
Thank
Bye.
you, Jack. And thank you to Beyond. Thank you. Yeah.
Bye-bye. Bye.